Did you know that as of 2025, roughly 11 million people, nearly 3.3% of the U.S. population, are estimated to be living in the country without authorization, and that these individuals are spread unevenly across the 50 states? Understanding where unauthorized immigrants reside is crucial not only for policymakers and service providers, but also for anyone who wants a clearer picture of today's migration landscape. In this video, we're counting down the top 10 states with the highest number of illegal immigrants in the United States, using the very latest data from 2022 to 2023. We'll explore the economic, social, and legislative factors that have shaped each state's unauthorized population and examine why these regions continue to attract or retain large numbers of immigrants. Whether you're curious about border states or surprised by inland trends, stay with us to uncover eye-opening insights and to see how the overall patterns are shifting in 2025. 1. California. With an estimated 1.8 million unauthorized immigrants, California ranks first by a wide margin. Despite a slight decline from its 2007 peak of over 2.2 million, the Golden State remains home to more undocumented residents than any other state. California's robust agricultural sector, construction industry, and service economy provide a steady demand for labor that is often filled by unauthorized workers. In metropolitan areas such as Los Angeles, San Francisco, and San Diego, the combination of year-round mild climate, well-developed immigrant communities, and extensive social services makes acclimation easier for newcomers. State policies like the California Dream Act, which grants in-state tuition to qualifying undocumented students, also signal a welcoming environment. However, this large population places significant demands on public education, healthcare, and local budgets. As California continues to refine its immigration-related laws, the debate over how to balance humanitarian support with fiscal responsibility remains as intense as ever. 2. Texas. Following closely behind is Texas, with about 1.6 million unauthorized immigrants calling the Lone Star State home. A booming economy driven by energy, technology, and agriculture has long created employment opportunities attractive to immigrant workers. Cities like Houston, Dallas-Fort Worth, and San Antonio boast diverse job markets, while the Rio Grande Valley remains a historic gateway for migration. In 2025, Texas has seen modest growth in its undocumented population despite federal enforcement efforts along the border. The state's mixed posture, combining local sanctuary policies in some cities with stringent statewide enforcement laws, has created a complex landscape for immigrants and employers alike. Unlike California, Texas offers fewer formal state-level benefits to unauthorized residents, which can strain community health centers and school districts that pick up the slack. Yet, the existing social networks, church groups, nonprofits, and family TIs continue to sustain thriving undocumented communities. 3. Florida. Florida is third, with approximately 1.2 million unauthorized immigrants residing within its borders. This marks one of the fastest increases in recent years, driven in part by growth in agricultural regions such as the Central Valley and the expansion of construction and hospitality in coastal cities like Miami and Orlando. Between 2019 and 2022, Florida's undocumented population jumped by roughly 4,000, a staggering surge that outpaced most other states. Coastal megaprojects, year-round tourism, and a newly diversified economy beyond oranges and retirees have all contributed to heightened labor demand. Florida's relatively lax enforcement at the local level, contrasted with strict state preemption laws regarding sanctuary policies, has also led to a de facto refuge for many migrants. Meanwhile, healthcare providers and schools struggle to accommodate non-English-speaking families. The prolific growth here underscores how domestic economic shifts can redirect migration flows even far from the Mexican border. 5. New Jersey. New Jersey, with 475,000 undocumented residents, ranks fifth, often overshadowed by its giant neighbor across the Hudson, Garden State communities like Hudson County. Camden, and parts of central New Jersey host substantial immigrant populations. New Jersey's economy, bolstered by logistics, pharmaceuticals, and hospitality, relies heavily on labor that undocumented workers provide. The state's proximity to New York City and Philadelphia also makes it attractive for daily commuting, allowing undocumented immigrants to tap into two major metro labor markets. In 2025, New Jersey enacted laws to permit municipal ID cards for all residents, facilitating access to services for those without federal documentation. Public schools, from Newark to Princeton, serve thousands of children whose parents lack legal status, creating both a moral imperative and a fiscal budgetary challenge. 6. Illinois. Illinois ranks 6th with 400,000 unauthorized immigrants, concentrated primarily in the Chicago metropolitan area and, increasingly, in suburban and smaller downstate communities. Chicago's long history of immigration, first from Europe, then Latin America and Asia, means a dense, interwoven fabric of language schools, ethnic businesses, and mutual aid networks that ease newcomers' transition. The service industries, manufacturing plants, and transportation hubs provide employment opportunities even for those without proper paperwork. Illinois extends considerable state-level support, including in-school healthcare programs for children and access to in-state tuition for undocumented students. Nevertheless, the strain on Cook County's public hospitals and rural community health centers remains acute. In 2025, Illinois is debating how to allocate tax revenues more equitably between municipalities with high concentrations of undocumented residents and those without, a discussion that will shape service provision in the years ahead. 7. Georgia. Georgia comes in 7th with an estimated 325,000 unauthorized immigrants. As Atlanta has blossomed into a major hub for film, technology, and logistics, rural areas, especially in South Georgia's poultry and agricultural belt, have benefited from the availability of low-wage labor. The state's 2011 immigration enforcement law HB 87 initially drove many undocumented workers underground, but labor shortages in vital industries forced nuanced local responses. Today, growers and meat processors often rely on temporary work programs, while urban centers like Atlanta offer a mix of sanctuary city policies and workforce legalization initiatives. As of 2025, Georgia's undocumented population remains resilient, supported by strong church networks, cultural organizations, and a growing number of legal clinics helping residents adjust status when possible. 8. North Carolina. North Carolina ranks 8th with around 315,000 unauthorized immigrants. The state's rapid growth in manufacturing, agriculture, notably tobacco and sweet potatoes, and construction has fueled demand for immigrant labor. The Research Triangle and Charlotte's Financial District also attract service sector workers. North Carolina has historically had fewer protective policies for undocumented residents, leading many to live in the shadows. Yet community colleges and nonprofits in urban centers have stepped in to offer English classes and job training programs. In 2025, discussions in the state legislature about extending driver's licenses to all residents reflect shifting attitudes toward inclusion, though full implementation remains uncertain. The combination of high job availability and evolving local policies has solidified North Carolina's spot in the top 10. 9. Arizona. Arizona holds the 9th spot with roughly 300,000 unauthorized immigrants, largely concentrated in the Phoenix and Tucson areas, as well as rural border counties. The state's contentious history, marked by somebody 1,070 in 2010, and ongoing federal-state tensions, has not deterred undocumented workers from seeking opportunities in agriculture, construction, and hospitality. Arizona's intense enforcement climate has been balanced by sanctuary practices in certain cities and by the expansion of community health centers serving all residents. Moreover, cross-border family ties and established migrant routes keep new arrivals moving northward through the state. In 2025, debates over border security funding and private immigration detention facilities continue to shape the experiences of Arizona's undocumented residents. 10. Virginia. Rounding out our list is Virginia, with an estimated 260,000 unauthorized immigrants. Northern Virginia's booming tech corridor and government contracting sector attract workers from around the world, while agricultural and service roles in the Shenandoah Valley and Hampton Roads sustain rural undocumented populations. Virginia's adoption of municipal ID programs and expansion of in-state tuition for undocumented students have positioned it as a comparatively moderate state on immigration issues. However, tensions remain in areas where rapid growth challenges public school systems and local clinics. In 2025, Virginia continues to refine its balance between enforcement, cooperation with federal authorities, and local initiatives aimed at integration and economic inclusion. These 10 states collectively house over 2/3 of the estimated 11 million unauthorized immigrants living in the United States. While border proximity explains much of California's, Texas's, and Arizona's high numbers, inland economic booms in places like North Carolina, Georgia, and Florida underscore that today's migration patterns are driven by job availability, community networks, and evolving local policies as much as by geography. States with welcoming laws such as driver's licenses for all residents, in-state tuition, and expanded municipal IDs often see more stable undocumented communities, while strict enforcement climates can push immigrants into the shadows without necessarily reducing their numbers. As of 2025, shifting economic sectors, legislative reforms, and federal-state dynamics continue to reshape where and how unauthorized immigrants live and work. Understanding these state-by-state differences is essential for informed policy debates, effective social services, and community planning. We hope this deep dive has given you a clearer picture of the complex mosaic that is undocumented immigration in America today. If you found this analysis eye-opening, please like, share, and subscribe to 10 Globe Trips for more in-depth reports on global migration, economics, and travel. Hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest videos. Leave a comment below with your questions or insights, and let us know which state situation surprised you the most. Thanks for watching.